Today, I'd like to talk about one of the major obstacles to successful change in therapy, especially with ARFID work. With ARFID, people do need to eat food, so it's a challenge that they will have daily for the rest of their lives. If you work with somebody with fear of dogs or so forth, or even spiders, it's not something that they need to tackle every day, but ARFID is. And so it's crucial that young people, especially, develop persistence and sort of adversity muscles when the going gets tough. Because there will be those times where they have three or four foods in a row that they won't particularly like. And the problem is a lot of people prematurely give up then. They think, oh, it's going to be this way forever. I haven't tasted anything nice now. This isn't working for me. And obviously, it's a shame because the fifth food or the sixth food is the food they may like. So getting through the untasty food is the key. So today's theme is about developing adversity and persistence. And it's really persistence that's the key to success because as all these 200 videos will show and 4,000 people I've seen, um, getting people to eat food is relatively simple in many ways. Maintenance is really the key, and persistence is obviously the key to that in turn. So I'm thinking we need to teach, especially younger people, to develop adversity and persistence muscles when the going gets tough. So one of the things I point out is there's sort of two classes of children. One class, for example, will say, oh, I tried a couple of foods, I didn't like them, so I stopped trying new foods. And I'll say to them, well, do you do a sporting activity or some kind of hobby? Yes, I do. What do you do when you're one goal down or when it gets tough? Do you immediately throw in the towel? Do you give up? Or do you think, well, maybe we can claw it back. The game's not over. So they probably developed some level of persistence in other areas of their life, which we'd like to employ here. But then there's another class of students, young people that basically they only play video games. It's quite disconcerting. I've asked some people, what do you do? What are you into? I play Fortnite. I find anything else. No, that's pretty much it. So they're playing hours and hours every day. So now I can't be a hypocrite because my son is 11 years old. He plays Fortnite. And I've actually started joining him, during quarantine. I was a bit bored. I want to see what he's up to. Need an extra member of this squad. So I started doing it. So I also wanted to kind of know what it's like a little bit. But this is what I found. Um, in moderation, say an hour and a half, on some days, 2 hours, Fortnite can be useful, for instance, because my son isn't seeing his friends and face to face anymore. He's really seeing them online. They're all partnering up to be a team and to tackle other teams. So he's got that social element and he's becoming very nimble, with building stuff and his strategies are very good. This is great, but it's not developing adversity persistence muscles in the same way another sport would. Many times I've seen him get really frustrated and just even chuck the control a couple of times. So, I mean, that's not teaching to deal with frustration, it's making things worse. In contrast, if you look at another creative sport or endeavor, for instance, I recently started jogging because I can't go to the gym. And I was jogging up a very long uphill. And I was saying to myself, right, I'm getting out of breath, but I want to see if I can make it to that tree, about, 20 meters away, and then I'll stop. And so I'm going up this long hill, and I run out of puff, and I stop. I was there thinking, oh, I need to take a breather. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel frustrated. I thought to myself, it's okay. I'm a little bit aerobically out of shape, but I'm getting in shape. And maybe tomorrow or the day after, I'll go to the tree. And indeed, I did. And now my goal is on the tree after that. So you can see that there's a very different sort of learning experience here. With jogging or a sport, it's like, well, let's stay with this problem. Let's see what we can do. Maybe tomorrow I can make it better. But there's different dynamics with video games that are about more instant kind of reactions to things, and this frustration, not getting a thing, and somebody sneaking up on you, and it seems unfair, and you work this hard, and somebody snipes you or something. That doesn't teach adversity in the same way. It actually gets people very frustrated. So as a parent, and this is really the target audience here, if your child needs to play video games or Fortnite or so forth, fine, mine does, but it has to be done in conjunction with other stuff as well. So, you can play your Fortnite if you also practice your instrument, and you also, go with daddy in the garden. We do some exercises, and we, go cycling. Occasionally, we walk the dog and play tennis and all these other things we do. If you do all those things and they're balanced, fine. And I think that's the way forward with this. So your child might be thinking, but all I like is Fortnite. I'm not interested. They can't see the benefits down the line of developing persistence and resilience in other ways. And it's our job, maybe they can listen to this YouTube video to point it out and say, we're not doing this because we're going to spoil your fun, which is what my son thought initially. I'm not doing this because I hate to see you happy. In fact, I love to see you happy, but I've got my eye on the bigger picture about what's going to be better for you and healthy down the line. And I like to know that people play 5, 6 hours a day. That's all they do, and they don't get happy after 5 hours. They want to play another 5 hours, and even if they play 10 hours, they want to play 15 hours. They never quite, often they don't get enough, and they don't feel happy afterwards. They feel tired and frustrated and things. So it's got to be balanced with other stuff. And since we become more active, with the weather's nice and everything, it's just so much nice to be out and active and moving and doing things. And it's up to us as parents to keep reminding the children, to do this, because they won't volunteer it. And so what we do, we have a little sit down, have a negotiation with them, and say, would you agree that too much of this is getting into bad moods and you're missing out on other things you should be developing? So would you agree together that we put some time frames on it and we do other stuff as well? And sometimes children can be quite reasonable about it. So that's one suggestion about how to proceed with this. If you have any comments, let me know. The comments may be disabled. I don't know what YouTube has done. If I post it public, then I can't say comments. If I post it children included, it's a bit confusing. I haven't figured it out. But by all means, if you need to talk to me, you can also email me on the address provided. But hopefully, this has helped during this challenging time.